All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling the Scaled Agile Framework, SAFe for short. This video we found, SAFe Explained in 5 Minutes, promises to break it down nice and easy. So no fancy jargon, just the good stuff.
Oh, it's definitely good stuff. Right off the bat, they lay out 7 core competencies for something they call a lean enterprise. Think of them as like gears in a machine, all working together so an organization can actually be agile.
Okay, 7 competencies. That's a lot of gears to keep track of. They start with agile teams, which I guess makes sense, right? Got to start somewhere.
Exactly. And you've probably run into agile teams already, right? 5 to 11 people working in short bursts, maybe using Scrum or Kanban or a mix of those to get things done quickly.
Oh yeah, Scrum. I've had my love-hate relationship with that one. But okay, so let's say a company's already doing agile at the team level. What's the next step up in this SAFe world?
That's where the agile release train comes in. Imagine 50 to 125 people, all the different roles you need to take a product from idea to launch, all working as one big old team. Instead of individual sprints, they have these program increments or PIs that last for 5 regular sprints.
Whoa, hold on. Things are getting serious, but seriously, how do you even start something that big? Is it just everyone crowded around a giant whiteboard?
They have this massive event called PI planning. Everyone gets together, figures out their goals, thrashes out dependencies between teams. It's like a supercharged brainstorming session for the entire art team. Sure.
But with so many people, someone's got to be in charge, right? Who's the conductor of this agile orchestra?
That would be the release train engineer, the RTE. They're like the scrum master for the entire art, keeping things moving, helping everyone communicate, blasting through roadblocks. Super important role.
Gotcha. So they plan together, work in these big chunks of time. But how do they know if it's actually working?
At the end of each iteration, there's a system demo. All the teams show off what they built, like a mini product launch every few weeks so they can get feedback quickly and adjust course. And then at the end of the PI, they have an inspect and adapt event. Everyone takes a breather, figures out what went well, what didn't, and how to improve for the next PI.
So constantly tweaking the engine, making sure everything's running smoothly. What if even one art isn't enough? What if you're building something so massive, you need multiple RITs working together?
Now that's when things get interesting. Imagine multiple RTs, even suppliers, all chugging along on this huge project, like an RT of RTs.
Okay, my brain's officially doing backflips now.
Yeah.
So we're scaling up from teams to RDTs to these mega solution trains. How on earth do you keep it all aligned with the company's overall strategy? Seems like things could get lost in the shuffle pretty easily.
You've hit on a crucial point. That's where lean portfolio management steps in. Think of it as the bridge connecting the high-level strategy to what those RTs and solution trains are doing every day.
Okay, that makes sense. We've covered the teams, the RTs, the crazy huge solution trains, and this strategic alignment thing with lean portfolio management. What else is going on in this SAFe universe?
There are 3 more core competencies that are really key to SAFe actually working: organizational agility, continuous learning culture, and lean agile leadership.
I have a feeling those are the secret sauce that makes this whole thing tick.
Okay, so let's tackle those last 3, starting with organizational agility. It's all about making the whole organization able to change quickly, not just the product teams.
So taking that agile mindset and spreading it throughout the whole company sounds ambitious.
It is, yeah, but it's super important if you actually want SAFe to work. Think about things like restructuring around value streams, making decisions closer to the action, being okay with experimenting and failing sometimes.
Oh yeah, that decentralized decision making. I'm all about that.
Sure.
But how does SAFe make sure everyone's still learning and growing along the way?
That's where continuous learning culture comes in. It's about building this mindset of always getting better, encouraging people to share what they know, helping them develop their skills.
Baking continuous improvement into the company DNA, huh?
So what would I actually see in a company with a strong continuous learning culture? You'd see things like communities of practice popping up around different areas of expertise, people mentoring each other, a willingness to try new things, even if they might not work.
This all sounds amazing, but I got to ask, who's driving this culture? Is it HR or is there a bigger leadership shift involved?
That brings us to the last competency, lean agile leadership. It's about leaders at all levels really embodying those lean agile principles and getting everyone else on board. They're like coaches, mentors, fostering collaboration, trust, really focusing on delivering value.
So not just barking orders from the top, but actually walking the walk.
Leaders got to be involved in those SAFe processes, supporting their teams, removing roadblocks.
This has been a really cool deep dive into SAFe so far. We've got the agile teams, the RRTs, those mind-boggling solution trains. the importance of strategy alignment with lean portfolio management, and now these last three: organizational agility, continuous learning culture, and lean agile leadership.
It's a lot, for sure. Organizations need to tailor it to their own situation.
So let's say I'm in a company that's thinking about trying out SAFe. What are some things we should be thinking about?
That's a good question. One thing that trips people up is getting leadership buy-in. If the leaders aren't fully on board, willing to champion the change, it's not going to work.
So it's not just about new processes, new tools. It's about changing how the whole organization works.
You got it. It's a transformation, not just implementing something new. And that takes time, effort, willingness to learn and adapt as you go.
Sounds like training and coaching would be super important to make this whole thing work.
You got to give people the knowledge and skills they need to thrive in a safe environment and support them, guide them as they figure it all out.
Not a set it and forget it deal, man.
Nope, not at all. It needs constant attention, nurturing. SAFe is a lot to take in, so it's usually better to start small, maybe with one value stream or one part of the business. Get some experience, build some confidence, then scale up gradually.
That's a good point. It's like learning to swim.
Exactly. Baby steps. And remember, SAFe is a journey, not a destination. It's about always improving, so you're never really done with it.
So it's about really embracing that agile mindset, constantly iterating, improving. What do you think makes it so effective?
For one, it's short and sweet, gets all the main points across in 5 minutes without getting too overwhelming, uses clear, simple language too.
Right. And it doesn't get bogged down in the technical stuff. Focuses on the big picture, the core principles, which makes it easy to grasp the overall concept.
Exactly. They illustrate those key concepts in a way that's easy to understand.
Okay, so we've got a pretty good understanding of SAFe now, thanks to that video in our chat.
Oh, that's a tough one. But I'd say the most important thing to remember is that SAFe is about more than just the processes. It's about changing the culture of the organization, empowering people to work in a more agile way.
So it's not just about the what of SAFe, it's about the why and the how.
Exactly. It's about creating an environment where people feel valued, empowered, motivated to do their best work. It's about fostering a culture of collaboration, innovation, continuous improvement.
And that's something that can benefit any organization, no matter what they do or how big they are. For someone listening who's maybe feeling a little overwhelmed, what's a good first step if they want to learn more?
I'd say start by figuring out what your organization actually needs. Where do you see room for improvement? Once you've got a handle on that, then you can start looking at how SAFe might help.
Not jumping in head first, but seeing where you are, where you want to go.
Exactly. The Scaled Agile Framework website's a good place to start. Articles, videos, case studies, even training courses.
Oh, cool. And speaking of resources, that 5-minute video we talked about did a great job with the basics. Any other recommendations for our listeners who want to keep digging?
Definitely. There are some great books that dive deeper into SAFe. Safe Distilled by Richard Nestor and Dean Leffingwell is a classic. The Art of Avoiding a Train Wreck by Melissa Reeve is really good for release train engineers.
This has been a fantastic deep dive into SAFe. We've covered so much, from agile teams and arts to leadership to culture. Any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the biggest takeaway is SAFe is a journey, not a destination, right? It's about constantly improving, adapting, evolving. And even if you don't end up using the whole framework, there are still some great principles and practices in SAFe that anyone can benefit from.
It's been awesome exploring this with you.
But
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep embracing that agile spirit.